As you'd know, the Great Commission instructs us to make disciples, not just converts. We are to teach those who choose to follow Christ to obey His teachings. But many churches have struggled with discipleship because people who seem to respond to the gospel have then seemed unwilling to follow through. I'd suggest that a key part of the solution is to recognise the importance of this thing called conversation. As a definition, discipleship is about continued conversations with interested people with the teachings of Jesus in mind. Let's unpack this with a few tips. Firstly, we disciple interested people, not just converts. It's commonly said these days that we should disciple toward conversion, not after conversion, because it's been observed that many people want to investigate the faith before they're ready to commit. Secondly, be ready to give people your time. In the parable of the sower, Jesus explained how easy it could be for the seed of the gospel, for example, to be choked by the worries and troubles of life. When a person's interest in the gospel is sparked, there is a brief opportunity there, and it must be taken. It's often said of evangelism that programs don't reach people. It takes people to reach people. And it's exactly the same with discipleship. Programs don't disciple people, including our Sunday services. It takes people to truly disciple people. Thirdly, use a conversational approach rather than a teaching approach. Because these days, very few people like to be preached at. It's kind of like the difference between meeting a teacher who instructs you as compared to meeting with a friend who will encourage you and have a two-way conversation. And it's a time-tested principle that only a few who respond to the gospel one week will come to a discipleship class the next, while nearly every single one of them would happily meet the friend who invited them for a coffee. So invite people for coffee. And the key to having great conversations with them is to ask great questions. Now, regarding what you discuss over coffee, show care first, because this is the way of Christ. People don't care how much we know until they know how much we care, right? You might give as much as half of your time to asking how they're going, and that would be good. Secondly, discuss the spiritual questions that they are asking. Because while you might have something prepared to discuss, their questions are their point of interest. Sometimes we're very passionate about the content we want to teach. But in the first few weeks of any group or discussion, creating an environment of trust and openness and care is actually the most important thing, because that's what's going to determine how many times they come back for more. And only then do we discuss what we've prepared. Now, the Great Commission, it says that we should teach people to obey Jesus' teachings, which could be as simple as both reading through the Gospel of Luke at home and then meeting to discuss what you've read. However, I'd suggest that there are three key areas to discuss along the way. Firstly, how do we have a relationship with a God that we can't see? We talk to God through prayer. He talks to us through the Bible and by His Spirit. Secondly, how does that relationship with God affect our relationships with other Christians? Firstly, we meet in large groups for teaching and for teamwork, but then we meet in small groups to care for and encourage one another like a family. And then thirdly, how does that relationship with God affect our relationship with the world around us? We each have a ministry which is about using our skills and abilities in daily life to make the world a better place, as well as a mission which is to encourage people forward in their faith, just as we were once encouraged by someone else. And in terms of some resources that could help, if you're meeting friends one-on-one over coffee, there are many printable Bible study resources available. Or alternately, you could use a digital one like the 10-Day Challenge, because it's on your smartphone or laptop, it's with you everywhere you go, and it's super simple with 5-minute videos and some discussion questions. Alternately, churches, many of them run discussion groups like Alpha, Christianity Explored, and Long Story Short. So if your friends are willing to come to these, they're excellent again with great content and a conversational approach. And finally, remember, keep it real, tell stories and have fun. Because if there's great content and it's also caring and enjoyable, they'll keep coming back for more. I hope this helps, and remember, programs don't disciple people. It takes people to disciple people. Please become one of those people.